Hi guys, I'm back. An image from the eastern side of the Berlin Wall. I presume that's, not sure who it is actually. It's supposed to be Brezhnev versus, is it Homit, I think his name was. Not sure. Anyway, it was a fascinating trip and Berlin is fantastic. So I'll be back there at some time soon. Okay, let's just make head of these charts and 60-minute pound US. We've got inflation today. Let me just check exactly what we've got. So yesterday we had Canadian holiday, UK house prices lower, and not much else. Today we've already had excuse me, Chinese retail sales, German GDP is higher, and we have UK inflation. A lot of speakers at 10 o'clock, including Euro GDP and Carney. Where are they speaking? Because that sometimes makes a difference. Okay, it's a central bank conference. I wonder why there's so many of them speaking. Central bank conference, not necessarily an opportunity for them to make waves. Otherwise, this afternoon it's pretty quiet. US inflation, main core retail sales and inflation is tomorrow. Looking for some weak numbers on US inflation. UK retail sales tomorrow looking to pick up, and Friday. So not a lot of inflation data. So let's just go through this. So last week the pound went from a US dollar went from a pound at low of 56 up to 230 on Friday. And now we have this one here. So it had this pattern up here of that area there. So we had that expansive triangle pattern. Now we've just got the 8 o'clock open, and at the moment we are in another confined triangle pattern with a lower close under all the moving averages, just holding on to this fib support. So this is a lot of support from Thursday. We came up from here from 85 to 230 here. So far, the price action on the pound this has been fairly muted, apart from so even we came into yesterday looking quite weak, and we just turned around. So I'm liking the support we've got here, looking to see if it can hold and push higher. Euro has, for some reason, already had a push up. The Euro has broken last week's high, so 678 is a pullback to last week's highs here. That is doing well. Major resistance is 725. So let's have a look at, let's go back to the pound US dollar, because that looks interesting. Okay, so we're coming to, there's yesterday's close. Let me double check that, because I don't want to make any slip ups. Yeah, so 111 was yesterday's close. So far we've sold from that. 4-hour chart is lower. We've got a 5-minute engulfing bar there, just around the 131 number. I'm just going to take a long here. I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, I've just gone long here. The reason I've gone long here is the daily chart is a buy signal. We have a heck of a lot of support just under here, so it may come down and see that. That's a little hammer light, that's a little buy signal tucked under the moving averages there. So I've just gone long here at 100. Looking to see if we can push through that resistance. So we've got all the support under here at 130. It's congested up there. We've got a knot of moving averages just above us. Excuse me. Looking to see if we can punch through that. And get back to the rate decision high at 250. Four-hour chart has this buy signal here. Yesterday morning at 92 again. There's that expansive triangle. So if we close above 115, 120, we stand a chance of, at the moment we're just pulling back into resistance. I'm just looking for this to pop back up on the back of that. So if this is resistance, we start selling at 110 and break 72, then we're toast. I think oil to Europe is a big inflation stoker, and oil has been creeping up quite nicely. So just putting on a few pips here already. Not done a gap fill yet. Let's see if we can get back to the gap and how we react. So we've already got 5 minutes here. Let me just narrowly above my entry signal there at the moment. So obviously we need to start closing above 105 and then close above that gap if this is going to work. In the 15 minutes, I've just marked off the high and the low there because it was relatively tight. Pound yen, let's just flick through the markets then. Pound yen is, actually that's a better chart, I have to say. Didn't manage to do a 127 extension reversal yesterday at 794. It turned around at 148 and put a buy signal in yesterday at 11 o'clock at 8:25. DAX, excuse me. Quite a nice sell yesterday. Came in with a decent 60-minute sell signal on the Sunday Open. And so we've got to close at 85. Very congested, isn't it? Very congested. But looking that this has done a clean 127 extension, completely turned around right on 995. Got lower, but 995 was pivotal yesterday. We talked about the indices dropping back into major support. Well, that's what they've done. Yesterday's low was a very, very nice daily support level. And we're just at last week's lows here, aren't we? There's a bullish 1 hour chart here. I would look for. Ideally, you need another gap fill. Ideally. But it looks like a buy here. The hourly is so good, it looks like a buy. And the 4 hour was a buy signal at 4 o'clock yesterday. Euro yen. Wow, that's had a good time, isn't it? Tried to buy this last week. Obviously, just got in too early. This week seems to be the week for this one. Look, very messy open. They dragged it down on Monday Euro session. But as we got to midday, we got a buy signal at 12 o'clock on the hourly. There's the buy signal. New low in the range at the 11 o'clock close. By 12 o'clock, we engulfed it. So that's the buy signal there at 12 o'clock on the hourly. So the pullback was 205, and here we are at 30, coming up 305. Doesn't matter what you think of the pound. Let's just see. Why have I got 3 bars there? Okay, so just a couple of pips up on that one. If we close above this 105 and ultimately above 112, then this could really run. On the 60 minutes, and yeah, I'll just doing that now. Okay, good question. What's the take profit? So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So it's a 5 and 3 pattern there. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we've done a 5 and 3 here already. So we're right back to base. So this is a huge area here. This 131 is huge. Look at it. If I took all that mess off, and just put an area around this 131, you would see how significant this 90 and 110 is, because we were here midday Monday last week. we broke up and then retested it on Tuesday, broke back down and broke out over here on Wednesday, and put a buy signal here on Thursday, dipped underneath it on Monday, and here we are trying to break out of it again on Tuesday. Take profit. Ultimately, I think we're going to see a gap fill at 190. Ultimately, Scalper School would take you into just around about the 130 mark, 133, 135. 135 is your Scalper School target. If you are looking to build a core position on this, you might want to wait until, you might want to hold on for 190. But the Scalper School target is 135. If we roll over, if we start selling up here and break 90, then this is unlikely to work. That's the downside of this. Break 90 and roll over. This 125 is massive resistance. I think yesterday they dragged this down to buy it, I think, according to my analysis. Note how at the moment we are struggling with this 20-day moving average. So I've got 20 and 200 on here. Let me just double check. Yeah, 20 and 200-day moving average on these. And we're not closed above it yet. Already, yeah, already just coming to gap fill. So this could be this is critical. Obviously, the market's just come back to where it left off from yesterday. So if it can't get past the gap, then this could just roll over. Okay, that's the sell scenario. We've just closed above the range, so that's good. The pound yen is better. It could be that we should be in this rather than the pound US, but hey, we're in the pound. So that is now a fade at 910. The buy area here would be 900. A full test of the middle of the range. We're just at yesterday's highs now. DAX, that's a fade at 112, 113. So this is exactly what we talked about on some of the videos and the Bear Raider session. On the Bear Raider session, we talked about this falling back into this support and then potentially coming off. At the moment, that's what we're getting. Okay, so we're long this pound US dollar and just attacking yesterday's close. So some scalpers will already be getting out. Some people who are looking for just 5, 10, 15 pips will already be getting out. That's a buy signal on the 15-minute chart. New little low, a engulfing bar. But we are just hitting resistance on this hourly. And yesterday, yeah, we talked about 135. Yeah, there's a resistance of 135 from yesterday. It's yesterday's high is 135. That's the Scalper School target. Elsewhere in the markets, the euro has kicked off early. That's a very bullish 60-minute chart there. So last week looks like I was too early trying to buy the euro last week. This one is now beginning to get some steam up. If you're in London and trading that 5-minute chart, yeah, okay. So it's dipped out and straight back in the range again. There's the gap fill at 7 o'clock. So the Europeans were buying this at 663 on the back of that gap. So if we were trading at an hour earlier, we would be getting out now. Okay, so a quick look at, I think that looks good on a fade. Ideally, I'd want to buy, well, I would want to buy 90, 95 ideally. But the pound is just at that resistance level with a few quid in the bank, with a few quid in the account, not in the bank. All right. Quick look through a couple of other markets. Here's oil. Once this is saved, just saving my charts. Come on. Oil. I think that is a very bullish consolidation and push back into any yesterday's lows will be extremely welcome and a possible buy signal. Yeah, 56.40 would be a buy area for me on oil, on gold. Very weak dollar. Gold looks as if we've got a heck of a lot of support under here, but I don't think it's going to survive. It looks lower to me. It's following CAD yen yesterday. That's looking good. I think we've got some CAD data coming up this week. That may push it. Sunday open was 89.50. That looks likely. 89.50. Well, we're very close to 89.50, aren't we? I'm just marking this one up on the 60-minute chart. I hope you are marking all your charts up in the Scalper School system so that we're all off the same sheet. Singing off the same sheet. Yeah, I couldn't do last night's round table. I just too ambitious. It wasn't back in time. I left Berlin at 2:30 local time. Hit the ground at 4:30, but by the time I picked up the cat, I was late back. Poor old cat's a bit freaked out that I've been away, but she is getting back to normal. Right. So good start to the markets. There's our pound. Just trying to crack through that resistance. The thing I like about this is that the fibs are sitting very, very comfortably right on fib levels. If you get a chart where the fibs fit, the probability of success is higher. Okay, I'm going to go quiet. Any questions? Anybody trade yesterday? Anybody catch any moves yesterday? I thought the DAX sell was really interesting. Let's see how we came into the market. We looked okay in the European Open, in the German Open. And then that 166 just was too much. Started putting in some sell signals at 8:30. Was still looking pretty pathetic by 10 o'clock, and then they dropped it into the US Open. Oh, they turned it around at the US Open, okay. So by the time we dropped that level, we started kissing on the side of it at 10 and then coming out. Okay, pounds we're picking up. Nothing like a bit of inflation to stoke the markets up. Okay. Elder's Impulse. Oh, is that the Dr. Elder? I read his book a long, long time ago. Okay, so already, where are we? 18 coming up for Scalper School target. Let's put that. I'm going to leave that up there at 190 for now. No, let's take Scalper School target. 135 was what I suggested. I'll just come under there at 132. I'm going to stick to Scalper School target and I hope to get an opportunity to buy back after the data. Yeah, elders. You know what? I used to trade fundamental for years. My first technical analysis course I did was a very intense 2-day course, and it completely confused me. The teaching was rubbish. It's only Elder's book that straightened me out and got me back on track. One thing that makes me very bullish about the pound is just how the oil has cranked up. As soon as oil gets higher in Europe, it just has a massive impact on inflation. Yeah, we're already hitting overnight resistance. 125 is going to be a big one. I think what I'm going to do is just back off here at the moment. This is the Sunday Open now. We bashed into the Sunday Open. But a very convincing buy signal at 3 o'clock yesterday. So, but I think the fade is looks as if that's on. Let's look at the impact on the FTSE. Right, on the daily is right on. It just tested the 200 yesterday, isn't it? It tested the 200, so far survived. I haven't marked this one up yet, so let me do that now. So 74.55 is resistance. Came down very nicely. Yeah, this 74.21 was last week's lows. Obviously, we're just 7 pips above that now. So this one finished at 74.16. Okay, so we've got backfilled at the lows here. Currently sitting up on that. And the just cool. I think the yen pairs are doing well. Let's have a look. Yeah. Don't know why I've got that up there. So 240, just coming to 100 pips from yesterday's close on this one at the moment. I think if we close around about here on the hour, then a fade is a pullback in a 60-minute chart, and then we could make this gap fill. The gap fill is 190, and that 190 is the top of the fib zone in the 1 hourly chart. So, like I said to you a few minutes ago, if you get something that fits the fibs really, really well, there's a higher probability it could go there. So there's a decent probability this could, if the market likes what it hears today, it could see that 190. It's another higher close in the 15-minute chart. And for some reason my clock's a bit slow, so I'll just adjust them. Okay, don't be shy about taking profits. Yeah, this pound daily is very congested. Decent 15-minute chart. There's two significant higher closes on the 15-minute chart. 135 is our scalper school target, yesterday's highs. Otherwise, everything looks okay. Let's just look around some wider markets. And pound in general is having a good time at the moment. So, talked about this a lot last few weeks. I think this is looking good. So there's a decent buy signal there at the London Open at 162. That's now 60 pips higher. So while we've been sitting here with just a few pips on our belts, this has been running up from a lower 150. This is not far off of 100 pips. Yeah, when these move, they move well. Let's have a look. DAX has just come off 10 pips. So we're seeing some fading. Really nice London open on that. Look at that. Where you get an open range that ties in with the close, that can be more powerful as well. If it holds and moves from the gap fill, that's very strong. That looks as if that wants to backfill, at which point that could get very interesting. Right, any questions, anybody? I'm just going to look around the charts now. If you want to, I'm going to be flicking around a lot of charts. If you want to watch, that's great. But I'm just going to do a lot of flicking over the next 10 minutes. Just while I update some other charts. Looking at the 60 minutes on this one. On my other screen, just looking to see where that opened from. Right, we just hit the Sunday open on this one, pound CAD. If things go well, all these pound pairs could fly if inflation is more prominent in these markets, when in the pound. That's a very good buy signal on the daily chart on this one. I think this one could do really well. The pound just looks very good to me overall. It's just a question of whether the expectations for inflation live up to scratch. So that's a good one. That's a good fade at 910, 925. DAX is really suffering. Okay, there's the fade in the DAX coming in to focus. Yes. Yeah. And as if saying it's a good move to move the stop loss to break even and let it run. Yeah, if it goes to plan, yes, definitely. If it doesn't go to plan, you've left profit on the table and given it back. What you might see with the pound is, well, you could see a couple of things. You could see it roll over because the market doesn't like the data. You could see it, whiz up to 190, the blink of an eye. There's all sorts of scenarios. We don't know what's going to happen, which is why in Scalper School we like to get the profits in the bank and then trade the data outcome, trade the reaction to the data. And the pound yen is just beginning to fade now. We're hitting resistance levels and beginning to fade. Okay, so far we've closed above the gap. Now we're just testing the gap. Now we've hit resistance up here at 120, overnight resistance. Just because I'm sitting here saying it's going to hit 190 doesn't mean to say that's what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. All I'm saying is at the moment, with 53 minutes to go to the data, at the moment the market's buying it. At the moment the market is buying the pound. That could change at a blink of an eye. Look at that gap fill, 880. This has moved 55, 60 pips at the highs. And that is just pulling back, looking as if that could really, I mean, look at this daily. This daily could really fire off. Not to say it will, but it could do. Let's just do the wider fibs. Pre-Brexit to Brexit lows. and you can see how we spent a lot of time in this area. Down here at 159, picked up from 159.40, 162. So we could possibly hit 750, possibly. But there's a lot of, so we're broken up here on October 25, dropped back on the rate decision on 2nd November, started to see the moving averages hold here at 169, and here we are at 172, potentially breaking out. Potentially. Just do that a little better. All right, so at those lows, we dipped. So on the rate decision, we dipped underneath the support, found the 50-day moving average, pulled higher, and here we are just trying to break out. So just be wary of leaving profits on the table when this could drop like a stone. At the moment, all the indications are this could go higher, but we have, as you know, as traders, nothing is certain. Okay, so the DAX is really pulling right back now. That's hit Sunday open at the highs, hit major fib resistance, and is right now it's just fading. Now, often fades can be much higher probability if they work. So we've got no buy signal here yet. I would be very interested in that gap if that went down to 85 again, or at least on the floor of the range at 100. That's actually a 15-minute sell signal. And there we are, just sitting on yesterday's close, sitting on the gap. A profit is not a profit until it's in the pocket. It's been quite a scrappy one, this one, of late. Very scrappy. If I peel all this back, what have we got? We've got all that support at these lows. We've got this resistance coming in at those highs. So we're in an apex, about to find out which way this one's going to go. I've picked this 55 because it's the most recent support level. Let me just adjust that. I'm looking at this buy signal here on yesterday's lows. That's picked off a little jump up here from the 3rd of November. So you can see how, I'm just trying to make sure everything is nice and accurate at the highs and the tests. So it's decision time. Yeah, we start rolling over and breaking 130.50. This is going to test potentially 128 and who knows 125. If we close up here and hold 115, we'll get a potential third test of this resistance, which may give way and see us pop back up. But we need to wait and see. So we got a decent buy signal here on Friday the 6th. Here on that little hammer at this 130.60. We retested that on Friday again, Friday 27th of October. Came back here again on Friday the 3rd of November and put a buy signal in on Monday the 13th. You can just see that little gap there, which at the moment you could argue it's already been filled by the high of Monday, or the high of Sunday, sorry. Okay, but as I enlarge this, you can see we've come into this with 2 4-hour bars lower, and at the moment the resistance is selling. And the DAX is coming onto that range floor. So 95, something between 85 and 95, I think is a potential buy. Assuming that is going to buy, assuming it's not going to roll over. That was a heck of a lot of selling yesterday. In the meantime, this pound's come off 10 pips, not a lot. And of course, a fade at 105 could be a good thing, as long as it stops there. Right, okay, I think I've said enough. Anybody trading the DAX this morning? Anybody looking at trading the DAX? You're selling now, okay. I think the sell signal was 131. If you're going to short it, I would have gone at 131, which was Sunday's open, if I was going to short it. Otherwise, the sell signal on the 5-minute chart was 125. I think this is coming into the floor of the range. If this is going to fade, this is the point where it could turn. And on the 15-minute sell was 125. 15-minute sell signal was 125 for an entry. So let's see. I'll watch that with you. Right, I just keep my eyes on the pound. Lower 15-minute chart at close. Coming into fade. Yeah, just getting close to the data now, so people are taking something off the table and waiting for data. Let's watch the DAX as we tick by. So I'll talk to you at 9 o'clock. Okay, I'll talk to you at 9. Okay, so just coming to the top of the hour. I think that floor of the range, well, you can see it for yourselves, the floor of the range has so far got bought. So 15-minute sell signal at 125, drops 25 pips or 23 pips into the floor. If you look at this on a wave count, because the wave counts even work on small time frames. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is impulsive, potentially impulsive wave 5. Let's see if that can push higher. Pound is working well so far. We have this long-term decent sell signal from Friday. They just got rid of it into the weekend, that's all. That's not worked. So far we're sitting above that. There's not much use to us, I don't think. What is useful to us is that 135, which we are just coming into. If we close up here, it's a good 1 hour close, not a spectacular close, because it still leaves the door open for a reversal. So that one was tougher because that one wasn't a pullback or a fade on that one. You literally just had to take the 9-10 break. The most important thing about this is it's sitting above yesterday's highs. So that's a good close. Italian GDP's just come in. That's marginally higher. That might give the euro a bit of a perk. Yeah, the euro is now at the weekly 127 extension. When I say weekly, I'm talking about the 60-minute chart. That's had a good time. Let's just mark off the range for that because I haven't done so. So far, I'm not getting a lot of pips. And I would have given us a scalp score target if you'd gone in quite high. You just had to take the break. The DAX, we had 2 hours of higher closes on this DAX now. 112, 110, 112 is a potential buy. Shaky. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to sit in the pound. So look at these other pound pairs. Very bullish. 60-minute chart in this one. Really bullish. And pound CAD also. That's just closed above the Sunday open so far. This 110 is last week's close. 108, 110 area is last week's close. Okay, I'll go quiet because there's nothing much to talk about now. Holding up. I'm still long this because we've not hit scalp score target. It's a very bullish 60-minute chart. It's a buy signal on the 60-minute chart, following through from yesterday's buy off the lows. Okay, I will talk to you at 1:15, and then I'll wait for data. Oil. That's a buy signal on the 1 hourly chart on the oil. Okay, so I'm going to sit in that one and talk to you at 1:15. Nothing much more to report. Pound's holding up. What I've done is I've got a stop to 94.6 and I've put an exit at 148.8. So I'm risking very little money. DAX. A little harder to call. Yesterday's close was bearish on the daily. We've broken up, pulled right back to support, faded the floor, come back, dropped. It's not great. The high euro is obviously going to play a part in this. That is, well, 60 minutes has almost touched the 127 extension. And in fact, we've just about touched the 127 extension on the 60 minutes. So that's hit an hourly extension level. If that comes off, that might help the DAX. Yeah, as you said, Adriano, we've got the crossover. Got the crossover on the MACD up here. So definitely 125, 130, 125 was definitely a problem area for it. So these levels, looks as if we might see that 85 again. If that keeps going, if that can drop underneath that, or underneath the floor now. Could go either way. You know, here we are at a decent support level. Could go either way. Pound US. So far struggling with that 120. Here we are, 7 pips under the session highs with some red bars on the 15-minute chart. So this is obviously struggling. Traders are just waiting for the data now, which is 10 minutes away. In the meantime, the other pound pairs have had a good morning. They look as if they want to bust up. It's just a question of what the reaction is to the data. Okay, oil hovering around this buy signal. The daily is horrible. Actually, the daily looks as if 56. We're going to see 56, so a 75 pip price underneath here. The hourly has put in a buy signal, so maybe they're going to ignore that and continue lower. Its volume seems to be very weak, so I would steer clear. Okay, so I'll focus on the pound still. I have made the decision to go into this data with this long position holding. So let's just see if I manage to stay in it. If you are scalping this, then obviously 120. If you're scalping it, then you should be out. Good little 15-minute sell, 5-minute sell signal at 115, 116. If you're purely scalping this, you should be out. I know we've not hit scalp score target, but we are right in front of data, and this, who knows, you could get very violent, it could be a non-event, who knows, we don't know what we're going to get. Nobody knows what we're going to get until we get this data out. I just like the daily, I like the 60-minute chart. I need more confirmation in the 15-minute chart if this is going to work. That's all I can say. And DAX is clinging on. 15-minute chart looks lower. All right, I'll leave you with the pound in view, and let's see if this manages to stay in. Okay, I'll turn the sound off now, and I'll talk to you at 1:30, or just a few minutes before 1:30. I do apologise, Asif. I will do that by about 10 o'clock. I'll write myself a big note and get that off to you this morning. Okay. Okay, just a reminder, I've got 17 pips on the table at the moment. If you are going to stay in this, be prepared to give anything you got back. Otherwise, clear your trades, close your trades. If you are going to stay in this, then consider managing your stop, close your trades, or you're out. Okay. I decided to stay in and risk a little bit of money, but make a decision. DAX could go either way, sitting on support, but eking a little lower on the back of that strong euro. We are just a few minutes off of the trade, so hopefully, even if you were scalping this, you came away with 17 pips. That's good. That's respectable. So we had a good success rate in this room all of last week. Continuing into this week, so let's just keep up the good work, guys. DAX is definitely under pressure with that euro, but let's just see what this is going to give us. So we are, what, moments away from the data. Let's see what that wants to give us. So I've just left a few, just risking a few pounds, looking to see if we can get close to that 150. This could just drop through the floor, we don't know. Let's just see what we get any second now. It's looking good, but let's just see. Could lock in a bit more profit if you are still in this, or you could take it off. Whoa, I'm giving it back, okay. I just given just a few pounds lost, that's fine. That's a shame. I had close to 20 pips on there on the table, and given what have I given? I've given 7 pips back. I'm minus 7 pips. That's fine. Well, it's not fine. Obviously, I wouldn't, much rather not do that. But look at that. It looked absolutely fine into that data. Absolutely fine. Well, in the bigger time frames, the 60, 15, and 5 looked absolutely fine. Looked great for a push higher. The 4-hour didn't. The 4-hour was definitely bearish, I have to admit. But yeah, so you can see I'm minus £11.40. So all you guys who took it off, that's great. DAX is sort of in no man's land, really. Obviously, a lot of selling yesterday, so we could just well break this 85 and rotate back down. Oil's perking up. The 60 and the 15 is good, very good. Daily is horrible. 4-hour is potential bullish consolidation. I think I'm just gonna now I was wrong about that. I think I'm just going to have to walk away and just wait for this to settle down. So all we've done is come right back to yesterday's close at 80 on this one. Euro's held up well. Would I short it? No, not at this stage. There's no. All the time frames, including the 15 and 5, all look higher. On the Euro US, this looks lower. Yeah, DAX is losing its footing at the moment. That Sunday close at 130 is looking like a good entry for a short. Doesn't look happy, does it? Let's see how it behaves around this, around yesterday's close. That's a shame about the pound. You know, like I said, that looked good. Every time you're under the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute chart, you run the risk of it going against you. Could we have flipped it? Yes. I'm less inclined because we've got so much support underneath us. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just regroup and look at potential trades for this afternoon. The Dow looks lower, but that's just quite marginal. Had a good push yesterday, isn't it? Good push up before the open. That's odd. Could have been some data. Don't know what it was. DAX is definitely losing its footing. Pound is just, it's swung into a lot of support, so I'm very reluctant to get short that at this stage. I would, if we saw a push back into 100 or at least close to 100, I would short it. Yeah, I'm just going to have to walk away from this and then give you an update later on, because now that's not worked. That's left me stranded in terms of my analysis. It does make me think if that euro can hold up, if we're going to see this sort of dollar strength. I mean, DAX is just sitting on there on support, so I'm reluctant to do anything with that unless if I'm going to short this, I would short round about 110, 115, and anything higher with any short signal is obviously a gift. So that's something you might want to look at on that one. I wouldn't want to short right down here on the yesterday's close, because that's a potential buy zone. So I want to get short higher if I'm going to short that. On the Dow, wow, it's really thin on the ground. So perhaps this one is breaking support here. Dow looks as if that could. We're only breaking support though, but we're actually on support, so we haven't. So that's a little bit dodgy. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to short anything. I would much rather get closer to yesterday's highs, 450, 470 on that one. Yeah, I'm just going to have to retreat and come back and look at these charts again. Now this has not worked. All right. Yeah, obviously wanted to do better for you guys. I'm glad at least one of you took your profits off on that pound. That's good. I only left a measly few quid on there, so that was fine by me. Some days that would have worked really well. Today wasn't one of them. Okay, so I'm going to back off and just rethink this. DAX has definitely lost its footing now. Okay. Yeah, 130, 125 has turned out to be a good short. Right, I'm going to have to back off and reconvene. All right, thanks for joining me, guys, and I will update you midday with a view to potential sell signals in these pound pairs and potential moves on the indices. All right, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll talk to you later.